All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday evening. Another edition of Knicks Weekly, episode 72. CP the Franchise, CK2K on the other side. On tonight's show, we're going to talk about why does the media hate Julius Randle so much. We're going to go in on some of these NBA player rankings and why the Randle disrespect must end. Plus, Adam Silver, in his State of the Union address, talks about the NBA's new rest policy. We're going to talk about how that impacts the Knicks. Plus, Silver did talk about the Knicks and their anti-media policy. We're going to react to that. Plus, are the Knicks America's team? We're going to go into some comments that Miles Turner made on the former Knick cheerleader Theo Pinson's podcast about the New York Knicks. Get your opinions on it and call us up, man. 657-383-1509 or hit us up on the KFTV Discord. Salute, salute, salute. Another edition of Knicks Weekly, presented by KnicksFanTV.com. Let's go. A couple weeks away from hoops and almost a month away from the NBA regular season. CK, how you feeling, bro?
Anxious. FIBA got me ready.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for basketball.
Yeah, I thought that was a good appetizer. I'm ready to go. And I was almost going full-time hoops because my football team this Sunday decided to go into Arizona after getting their ass whooped in week 1 to the division rivals at home 40-0. Going to Arizona against a powerhouse Cardinals offense led by Josh Dobbs, a journeyman. And they decided to go into the half down 23-0. So at that point, I was ready to pack my bags up, write them off, because the Giants have a good way of, in most seasons, you can really tell the way that the season's going to go by week 2. You know, week 1, they'll get worked. And then week 2, they'll completely mail it in. And then you look at the schedule ahead and say, okay, we're done here. But it was a tale of two halves. They found their nuts in the second half. Daniel Jones picked it up. He was airing it out. Darren Waller killing it. And they escape before they head to San Francisco for another bloodbath, man. That's how it looked for the New York Football Giants.
What is the schedule for y'all? What in the world?
Bro, it's brutal.
Dallas.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize y'all got Frisco next. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe like 4 out of the first 5 are on the road. I mean, yeah, they go to San Francisco Thursday, then they'll have off. Then they're home against Seattle. Then they're going to Miami. I'll be at that game. And then they go to Buffalo. Then they have the Commanders and then the Jets. So it's a tough schedule, man. It's a tough schedule, but it could have been really, really bad had they lost to this Cardinals team today. Got lucky, man.
Yeah, it's your trenches, man. Like, I didn't get to watch and that's not true. I chose not to watch the original bloodbath against the Dallas Cowboys, against y'all Giants. But what I noticed today is, Daniel Jones he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. I know y'all been going back and forth with him. He needs protection. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
And y'all pretty beat up on your O-line, right?
The O-line is just, it's in shambles right now.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas, our starting all-pro left tackle, didn't play. Evan Neal, our second-year right tackle from Alabama, the heralded Alabama program, he's been iffy. Our guards are iffy. The whole thing is just real makeshift right now. And then they lost Saquon. Saquon got folded up real bad on the final drive. Looks like he sprained an ankle, so it doesn't look like he's going to Frisco.
I'm probably going to get killed by Chad, but isn't that an annual tradition at this point for y'all? Just, Saquon getting some sort of injury? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of rough.
And that's the thing. You have people arguing like, oh, well, he should have gotten paid. He should have gotten paid. Now you kind of see, I'm unfortunate. Injuries are part of the game. For sure. But you can see it from the business side of things. And then, you could see it from his perspective in wanting to get paid. He puts his body on the line. But then you could see it from their perspective, like, number one, the running back position is so devalued. And number two, you're always hurt.
Yep. Unfortunately.
It's unfortunate, man. So
Yeah.
we'll see what
But
happens.
hey, you
there.
won today, though,
Yes,
man.
yes. We did win
One and
today.
one on the season.
We
Y'all
did win
Giants
today.
did it. All
Yeah.
right, pour one out for Alex and his Jets. They went through it with the Cowboys, but the Giants, they won. So enjoy it this week.
Have the Saints. Did the Saints play or they play Monday?
Tomorrow. We play tomorrow.
Okay, who they got tomorrow? Panthers?
Yes.
That's a horrific
we got the rookie.
Monday night football game.
I don't understand. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I don't know if they just wanted to get the kid on TV. What's his name? Bryce Young. I don't know if that's the reason. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But the Saints always find a way to make it interesting, so I wouldn't turn off the TV just yet because watch us find a way to lose.
They do, man. What a horrific Monday night game. Manning cast is going to be very interesting for that one.
Yeah,
they might have to get Prime on that one to keep people watching.
Facts.
That might be it. They might get Dion on there to get the ratings up.
Speaking of great football games, man, that game was crazy.
Bro, I fell asleep.
I can't imagine because it went to like 1 y'all time, right?
Bro, it went to like I fell asleep at 20-20 in the fourth. Shador's running and gunning. I fell asleep, bro.
Missed it.
Not only missed that, I missed the UFC fight, the women's fight between Thug Rose and Grotto. I forgot her last name. I heard that one was a classic.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, man. My birthday's coming up on Wednesday. I'm creeping up on the over the hill destination, man. I'm creeping up there, man.
Yeah, we had an impactful weekend of sports. We got The Rock on Friday. We had Colorado yesterday. Your Giants today were probably the game of the day. Yeah, that's been a good weekend of sports for sure.
I can't believe I fell asleep last night. Super L on my behalf. But I'm gonna let the people know in the chat why I fell asleep. It's for good reason. We're gonna get to the program, but I'm gonna let the people know why I fell asleep in just a little bit, man. But let's talk about this. Let's get to the program here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Earlier this week, CBS Sports had put out their annual NBA Top 100 player rankings. And in that, the Knicks fans were not too happy because one Julius Randle was ranked number 58. Number 59, sorry.
59. I was going to say.
Number 59. I gave him a little bit of a boost. But number 59 was Julius Randle's score. And here was their reasoning. Randle's score. Now, they prefaced this ranking by saying that this is a futures prediction, not based on what they've done or what they did last year. This is based on what they feel like, where they feel like they will finish at the end of the season. All right? So here's the justification. They say, we know that Randle can score efficiently at high volume on a jumper-heavy diet. We don't know if he can do it in consecutive seasons or in the playoffs. The glass half full perspective is that the Knicks' addition to Jalen Brunson opened things up for Randle last season in a sustainable way, only for an ankle injury to limit his effectiveness in the postseason. The glass half empty perspective is that Randle's game, the ball stopping, the tough twos, and the hot and cold three-point shooting doesn't hold up against playoff defenses designed to make him uncomfortable. He earned his 2 All-Star appearances, but it's not an accident that there are non-stars ranked higher on this list. And when they say non-stars, I mean, I'll just go through a couple. I'm not going to go through, the 40 or so players that they have ahead of him, but they got Wembanyama ahead of him, OG Anunoby, Marcus Smart, Rudy Gobert, Aaron Gordon, Andrew Wiggins, DeJounte Murray, Paolo Banchero, Brook Lopez, Kristaps at 49, Fred VanVleet at 48, Franz Wagner, 47, Chris Middleton, 46, Cade Cunningham, 45, DeMar DeRozan, 44. I mean, they got Desmond Bane at 42, Evan Mobley, 40, Bradley Beal, 38, Karl Anthony Towns, 37. I mean, I can go on and on. But your reaction to this?
Just hearing you name some of those names, I continue to feel like I am missing something about OG Anunoby because the fact that his name was named amongst all those names you said ahead of Julius Randle was crazy. Even that justification of it being a future view of what they think is going to blah, 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 blah. How many seasons does this dude need to have where he's shocking, not even fan bases, but shocking the media, shocking other NBA teams and other players. Because I feel like every year for the past now about to be 3 years, we were hearing, oh, Julius Randle's playing really great. Oh, Julius Randle's doing this. Oh, Julius Randle, his stats look good. Blah 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 blah. So is that what CBS is going for here? That's all they could be doing. Yeah. They could be only trying to play the game where they're just going to be like, oh, we were shocked. We had him at this, and now we're moving up to this. Because isn't CBS the same people that put Emmanuel Quickly at a D+ when he got drafted? So it's like, at this point, I stopped paying attention to these lists, especially when it comes by CBS, because I don't know who Herbert is. But the only Herbert I'm acknowledging is Justin Herbert, because he is my starting quarterback in fantasy football. Because that is crazy that they got him at 59, and some of those names that you listed weren't even ever an All-Star, or maybe got a one-time All-Star appearance. And you got a two-time All-Star in Julius Randle there, in one of the hardest media markets in the NBA, in one of the toughest places to play in the NBA. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but I can see disrespect, and this is definitely 100% disrespect when it comes from CBS, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's and the author's name was Sam Botkin. Sam Botkin wrote the list.
I just saw the quote. They said Herbert, so I was like, I don't know who Herbert is in the quote you read.
Okay, yeah. Maybe this was someone else, or maybe the guy Botkin updated this part. But yeah, this is Herbert. I don't know who Herbert is, but Herbert missed the mark here, because I think the justification that they have here in terms of his overall success with this team is fairly accurate. Okay. But you can't just use all of that to discredit his impact on the team and his ability to lead this team to a certain point. I always say we have a ceiling with him, but it doesn't mean he's not good. He's going to take us to a certain point, and that point is a way more significant contribution than a lot of these guys on this list can do for their team. Yeah. That is why he's an all-star. That is why he's an all-NBA, and I believe that he can repeat that next season because of the addition of Jalen Brunson, the pressure that Brunson takes off of Randle in terms of the decision-making, the closing responsibilities, the ability to attack the double teams, the ability to make better decisions than Randle can. He can play more of a secondary role to Brunson. And, they talk about his shot diet and can he repeat that next season? Well, the Knicks made a conscious effort. If you remember last year, Thibodeau talked about it, Randle talked about it. They altered his shot diet a little bit where he wasn't taking as many long twos, and he was opting for more threes to make it more efficient, right? You want threes or you want to attack the basket. You don't want those inside the arc long twos. Those are tough shots. Those are tougher shots, and in this analytical era of the league that we're in right now, they're less valuable shots. So they altered it, and he saw some success there and made it back to the All-Star team. So I believe that he can repeat that next year, especially playing alongside Jalen Brunson, another year under Tibbs, another year more comfortable in his role, another year with chemistry with his teammates. I believe he can repeat that. So to see some of these guys on the list, I mean, what is Wembanyama's immediate impact going to be for the Spurs? Is he going to lead them to the playoffs? No, absolutely not. No chance. He has a huge adjustment to make at the NBA level. Is OG Anunoby that level of player for the Toronto Raptors? Will Marcus Smart, love Marcus Smart. Is he going to be that guy for the Memphis Grizzlies? Rudy Gobert. The Rudy Gobert trade was horrific for the Timberwolves. Yeah. Gordon, love Aaron Gordon. I think Aaron Gordon, and see, this is the thing with the rankings and these lists, because you have stars, you have all-stars, you have superstars, but you also have guys who are stars in their role, right? Mm-hmm. Like Gordon is a star in his role, so I can see Gordon, but I'm looking at these guys: Wiggins, Murray, Banchero, Brook Lopez, Kristaps. I mean, honestly, Chris Middleton. They put Chris Middleton there.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah. Cade Cunningham, another injury-prone player.
Yeah.
I think it realistically, without having to rearrange this list, I would put Randle. I put him at 30. They got at 30, they have Draymond Green at 30. They have Siakam 31, Brandon Ingram 32, James Harden 33, Domantas Sabonis 34. I put Randle at 30. They got Mikal Bridges at 29, Jaren Jackson Jr. at 28, Brunson 27, Zion, who never plays, at 26, Drew Holiday 25, Jaylen Brown. I put Randle at 30.
Yeah, I'd shift around a few of these stars where they're at, and I'm close with you. I would say like 32, 33, but I would shift around the order of some of these people. Like having Draymond ahead of Sabonis is kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I'm looking at like a 32 if I rearrange a few of these stars. Yes, so I'm right there with you.
Especially if they're talking about future. I mean,
Exactly.
Look, Draymond is still Draymond.
Exactly.
A genius on the court, high IQ, cerebral player, but he's only getting older. And his effectiveness is going to eventually wane. So I can't see how in a futures list, you're going to put him at 30 and put Julius Randle at 59. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. I can even see Mikal Bridges at 29 based on the year that he had with the Nets. One of the most efficient seasons that we've seen in the NBA. He was incredible, and he really broke out. I can see that. Jaren Jackson Jr., you have your Defensive Player of the Year. I can see that. Brunson, cool. You know, I like where Brunson is at. Even though I put him ahead of Halliburton. They have Halliburton at 23. I'm putting Brunson ahead of that. I put Brunson ahead of Trae Young. I put Brunson ahead of Trae Young. I think Brunson is a little too low.
This Trae Young infatuation with the league is crazy, bro. Crazy.
I put Brunson at 21. Get Trae out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got Bam at 20, De'Aaron Fox 19, Jamal Murray 18, Paul George 17, Spider 16. I put Brunson at 20. I'm comfortable with Brunson at 20.
Yeah, the more you scroll, the more this list is just all over the place, man. I ain't gonna lie. I stopped after Brunson. Bro. I wanted to see where Brunson and Julius were on this list, and then I stopped looking up. But now I'm looking at the list. This thing is all over the place, man.
It's all over the place.
All over the place. Like the justifications make no sense for me. If you're talking about future, like I'm not seeing it. I don't get it.
I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, that thing's all over the place.
So. I come to think that these lists are more. I'm not a fan of lists and rankings. I'm really not, because to me they're just you have some outlets that just intentionally want you to talk about it, so they'll throw like the most ridiculous things in there, and then you have others that have. I think others have a Knicks bias.
Yeah,
and then like I said, you have different players in different roles. You can have a ranking of your top 10 power forwards, but each guy is playing a different role, serving a different role for his team. It's not one size fits all. So rankings, comparisons, it can get very, very difficult to gauge. But I guess the intention is to have that conversation, which we are having now. So
I was just going to say intention to do exactly what we're doing right now. So they talking about it.
Yes.
They got their click.
They got it. Yep. They absolutely got it.
Yeah.
So there that is. Now, sticking to the topic of Julius Randle. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. The NBA has announced, as part of the upcoming season, 23-24 season, the introduction of a player rest policy. And with this player rest policy, they are going to ensure that teams are no longer going to be allowed to rest 2 stars in one game without a doctor's note. No, without legitimate reasons, legitimate circumstances to do so. And they define the term all-star as a player who's made the all-star team in either of the prior 3 years. All-NBA or all-star team in either of the prior 3 years. So they don't want multiple stars sitting out. They want teams, right, the Los Angeles load managements. They want teams to ensure that star players are available for national TV and in-season tournament games. You have to have legitimate reasons. If players or if your 2 stars or your multiple stars are to miss games, You're going to have to be on a pre-approved list to miss back-to-backs. And to be on that pre-approved list, you have to be over 35 years old at the start of the season. Okay. Career workload of greater than 34,000 regular season and playoff minutes. Okay. They get real scientific with it. Or
it sounds like they're writing that in for LeBron. I'm just saying. It sounds very pointed, but go ahead.
Or greater than or equal to 1,000 regular season and playoff games played. It says if a star player meets either of the criteria above, the player's team may seek approval from the league office to invoke this section of the policy as a basis for the player being unavailable to play in back-to-back games. All right, so there's LeBron's out.
Right.
There's LeBron's out as written by Rich Paul. Okay. You know, there's LeBron's out as written by Rich Paul and Mav Carter and the good people of Clutch Sports in Spring Hill. So there that is, man. That's just part of it. But what you think about this policy that the NBA is rolling out here?
Players, agents, doctors, teams, they're gonna find a way around it. That's for sure. But as far as the NBA, not including the Knicks, I'm cool with it. They gotta do something, for sure. It's becoming an issue. Again, I know if you find this anywhere, whether it's Twitter, X, Instagram, Reddit, wherever, you see a big old picture of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in suits next to each other in different suits because there's so many pictures of them. So I know that this is primarily pointed at the Clippers or teams like that. And I think it's for sure something that's very necessary, something that needs to be figured out, because you could tell in the last 2 years they were not making up injuries, but they were making up injuries, you know, and then it just got to a point where it became lazy and the whole load management thing started. So I think this is a good start. I still feel like there's going to be a way where they might do like a take turns kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's going to get figured out within the NBA of some kind of loophole to make it work. I don't know. But for the most part, to try and get these guys on the court, it's going to help. I was hearing people saying that these guys might play a few minutes and then sit out the rest of the game so that they meet their minute mark or whatever, because they're already gonna have to figure out those kind of workarounds to even get on the All-NBA team, because that change happened as well. It's definitely necessary, but I'm still interested to see the workarounds that are gonna be made from a lot of these players this year, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm waiting to see how Cuban circumnavigates this policy, because he's going to figure out a way to get Luka and Kyrie some rest. He's a guy that flouts the rules all the time, but they did include this one, and I think maybe this was going at him. This is called shutdowns. It says teams must refrain from any long-term shutdown or near shutdown whereby a star player ceases participating in games or begins to play a materially reduced role in circumstances affecting the integrity of the game. Okay. This should have been in from last year when they sat Luka Doncic down, tanked the last game or two of the season, and cost the Knicks a draft pick. Interesting one. And that was all. I mean, remember the Blazers sat out Dame.
Same thing. Yep.
When they got their tank going, they were greasing the tank tread to sit down Dame, and that's going to be interesting as well, man. Gonna be very
Damian Lillard out with a headache. Yeah. Right. They did something similar. Yeah, for sure.
Damian Lillard out with a migraine. Now, they do say here that they will provide end of season flexibility. Teams will be afforded additional flexibility to manage their rosters in a reasonable manner at the end of the regular season, e.g. to rest a star player in the team's last regular season game after the team has clinched a specific playoff seed, or to rest a pre-approved player with prior serious or unusual injury history in the team's final regular season game. So they'll give you a little bit of a break. Let's say the Knicks clinch the top seed. We put in a lot of work on the Tibbs. We're going to decide to rest Randle and Brunson when hell freezes over. And give Deuce and Isaiah Roby an extra look there.
Ain't nothing about this new rule said Knicks in my mind. As long as that man, Tom Thibodeau, is our head coach, ain't nothing about any of this. pertains to our NBA team. Ain't nobody sitting out time. Have we ever had a load management day
No.
for any of our players
Yeah.
since they brought in load management? No. So when I saw any of this, I was not thinking about the Knicks at all because Tom Thibodeau does not care. We could be 60 and whatever by the end of the season. You better expect Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson will be laced up at the end of the season. But for that ad, I like that. I'm completely fine with that. I feel like if you're on the opposite side of it, not looking to tank, but you're locked in, I think you're completely fine resting the dude to get ready for the playoffs. That doesn't bother me. It's just the other way around, like what the Mavericks and other teams were doing last year. I think that's where it's more of a headache or more frustrating, especially when they have the possibility of being in the playoffs, but they chose draft instead, and you're just allowed to openly do that. You can't have that. So, but yeah, for teams that are locked into the playoffs, first, second seed, and last week of the year, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't bother me at all.
I like that. So to everybody in the chat, hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to the channel. Another episode of Knicks Weekly, episode 72. CP the Franchise, CK2K in the building. Just chopping it up on the latest Knicks news and around the league. Salute to all our franchise channel members in the chat. Will Latimer, I see you. Jamaica Queens 22, salute. Junior Karoma, good win. Will Hooper, Ill Will, salute. Salute to everybody in here, man. King Matthews back in the building, a 7-month franchise channel member. Salute to King Matthews. We definitely appreciate you. Salute to John Talento in here. Jay from PR. My guy J Cal checked in here first. Shout out to J Cal. I got to catch up on the content from the All In Summit that was out there in LA. I heard it was a great event in year 2. So shout out to J Cal and the team for putting on another solid, excellent production. So on this load management front, like you said, CK, does it impact the Knicks? No, for 2 reasons. Number one, the Knicks ain't going for load management. Tibbs ain't going for that. And number 2, we mentioned the definition of star player is anyone who made All-NBA or All-Star in either of the previous 3 years. Well, the Knicks only have one player that's done that, and that goes back to Julius Randle. So number 59 on the list. So theoretically, if hell freezes over, they could rest Randle and Brunson in back-to-back games, in 1 game, in 2 games, in 3 games, and have no disciplinary actions come from the league. So there that is, man. Tibbs is doing the Birdman hand rub. He said,
yeah, I'm just trying to realistically see if that would happen. It's just not. It's not. But it's good to know. I mean, it's good to know that we have that opening if he feels like taking it, which he won't.
Tibbs is doing the Birdman hand rub. I see a couple on the line. 469-917. Hang tight. We're gonna get to your calls, man. For those of you at home, call us up 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the NBA Discord. All right, let's start with 469. 469, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? Who's this?
I'm gonna upset you tonight.
This is. I know who this is.
The thing about it with Randle this year, we don't hate Randle. We just know who Randle is. 2 years ago, he was walking off courts. He was thumb down people. I'll never forgive him for that. But my thing about Randle is this: he gets 25 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
So does Harden. Harden can get you 25 points a game. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna win with either one of them. So my thing is, why his trade value is high, they should be looking to move him. But they're not gonna do that. So I just have to live with it. And I'm still a Knicks fan.
There you go. Is this my guy Michael White by any chance?
Yeah. Down in Dallas.
Oh, you in Dallas? Yeah, that's Julius's hood, man. You better lay low, man.
In a suburb of Dallas.
Okay. Well, yeah. I said you got to lay low. That's Julius's territory, man.
I saw Julius when he was in high school, when he was AAU. Man.
Okay. There you go. So on the Julius front, I mean, number 59 on the list, man. I mean, that's kind of low, isn't it?
he scores 25 a game, but I don't have Harden that high either.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They're the same kind of player. I mean, they can get you points, but they're not necessarily conducive to winning. When we didn't have Brunson, we didn't win.
Well, in fairness to Randle, appreciate the call, Michael White. In fairness to Randle, 2 years ago, he was a one-man team. I mean, he did the damn thing. He brought us to number 4. D Rose was a big part of that. Salute to D Rose. Absolutely give him his respect. But Randle was a huge part of that. Yes, you could say empty gyms and all of that, less pressure. And when the gyms did fill up, he wasn't really there. But at least for the regular season, for them to accomplish their goals, Julius Randle is going to be at the heart of it. And that's why I still have to give him his respect as it relates to other players in this league, because he's mightily important to the success of this team, at least in the regular season. Now, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. The Randle Hive wants to say it's the ankle, give him a bye, give him some time. So we'll give him some time. We'll see what happens if he can get to the playoffs healthy. Can he redeem himself? The verdict is still out there. Yeah.
Like you said, I just want to see him. Now we had the full season with him, Brunson, RJ, all those guys. We made the decision. Obi's gone, so you don't have to worry about that whole fan base wanting the other guy over him. All the outside noise is in Randle's favor now. Like, it is up to you to just go out there and do what you're saying that you're going to do. I'm in on it. I want to see what it's going to turn into. I think he's going to have another good season. Like I said, just cut down those inconsistencies and those things that had a lot of us upset, and he should be fine, man. I think he's going to be just fine. 59 is crazy.
59 is crazy. And speaking of that, shout out to Bomani UFG, also a franchise channel member of 7 months. Hasn't left since we launched it. Says, salute CP and CK. Don't know about y'all, but having Fred VanVleet ranked ahead of Julius is the most disrespectful. I agree with that 1,000%. Yeah. Like VanVleet, love his game. I like the Rockets picking him up. I think they need a guy like that. But no, you're not going to put him ahead of Julius Randle, especially if you're going to talk about a futures list. Is he really going to elevate this Rockets team like that? I don't see it. I think they have a long way to go. And no, I'm not putting Fred VanVleet up ahead of Julius. No, I'm not putting him up ahead of Julius. There's no chance. There's no chance. Was a big part of that Raptors final NBA championship team years back. Still a good player in his role. Yep. Still a very good player. He's not Julius.
Yep.
And doesn't have nearly the amount of responsibility that Julius has. I mean, it's not just the scoring. The rebounding matters. Defensive rebounding matters. It helps your defense. As much as his off-ball IQ isn't there, rebound. Still go get a board. Go out there and get a board. And he does that.
Can't argue with you there, man.
Yeah.
You're right.
Got to account for something, man.
It's facts.
Let's go to our 917-386. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yo, salute. It's JJ from Brooklyn. How you guys doing,
JJ in the building. What's good, man? How you feeling?
What's good? Good, man. How's the guys' weekend, man?
It was good, man. I'm gonna get ready to tell the people how my weekend went. But and JJ, you saw some of it, man. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Very good weekend.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. I had to watch my Jets get absolutely abused today by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Brutal. Obviously, losing Rodgers was just devastating. I mean, I almost threw up.
Yeah.
I knew right away, right when it happened. I was like, that's the calf. I was like, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because you were talking about the Giants O-line real quick. The Jets O-line might be even worse. We got 80-year-old Dwayne Brown out there. He's a turnstile.
He's a turnstile, man. And shout out my guy Sean Shepard, man. He got a little uptight. He's a diehard suffering Jets fan since 1965. He got a little tight at me when I called out the O-line, man, on Twitter, and he made it seem like they were the second coming. I mean, pump your brakes.
Heck no.
Yeah.
It might be just as bad as the Giants O-line. It might be even worse.
And
I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's rough with Neal and what's the guard, Glowinski on the right side. They're brutal.
They're
too,
brutal. They're
the
tough.
Jets O-line ain't much better.
Yeah, man.
I actually wanted to ask a little off topic. Is it all right if I ask you a question about DiVincenzo real quick?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool, thanks. I just wanted to ask you guys, are you concerned at all I'm not going to act like I've seen all his games over recent years. But when I'm looking at his numbers, right, specifically the three-point percentage, I know last year he shot really well. I think it was around 39%, which is elite. But when I look at the years, do you guys think like that was just kind of like a product of the Warriors system and playing next to Curry and Clay? Because it's pretty much every year besides that, it's like 33%, 34, 35% from three. So are you guys concerned at all that there could be a regression in the system?
Yes.
That's basically all I wanted to ask. You guys be good, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call, man. Yeah, I think it could. I think it could. You know, he's going to be operating in a different offense. This isn't Steve Kerr's offense. Last year with the Dubs, he shot 40% from three. The year before that with Sacramento, half the year with Sacramento, he was at 37%. And with Milwaukee, he was at 29%. His last year with Milwaukee, he was at 29%. The year before that, 38%. So, you know, he's kind of hovering around league average. And then with the Dubs, he kind of broke out a little bit. Is it a concern? Sure, yeah, it could be. Because we don't have the same system. We don't move the ball as well. Will he find as many open opportunities? He still probably should as a guy that's mostly going to be living in the corner. So it is a concern. But at the very least, I need you to play some defense. I need you to get some boards. And, again, league average. Just get me league average a little bit better from three. And I think he should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just collectively concerned. I know it's the thing that everyone's crying and complaining about. But, you know, CP2K just dropped a week ago. You know, I've been heavily obsessed with 2K. And, you know, ratings aside and all that nonsense, I finally got to play as a New York Knicks. And then when you get to those substitutions, those rotations, that's when it started to finally hit, like, you know, we are very small. Like, I know we saw that. We see it. We know the signings. We got all that stuff. Yeah. When I finally got to play as a team and I'm playing against the Memphis Grizzlies and I'm like, yeah, we are very small. That's my issue. So when it comes to Dante DiVincenzo, it's like what you said, the very tail end. Where is he going to step up on the other side? We know he's a shooter. We know that he's a very high active type of player. But he's got to step up on a lot of other things because there's probably going to be situations where he's our three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where is he going to be defensively with this team? We haven't really got to see that at a big scale outside of, I'll say, Milwaukee. I mean, with last year with Golden State, we didn't really get to see him as a defender. He was more of a, you know, the offensive all over the place kind of guy. In Milwaukee, we got to see him be two-sided, and we need that this year. And I don't know how confident I am in that, but I definitely there's a lot of things that I'm concerned about with this team rotationally. And Dante DiVincenzo has a lot that he's going to need to do this year for his role and that contract to make a lot more sense for this team. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned. Yeah. I'm a little concerned. I'll say it.
For sure. You know, one of the areas where he did very well with the Warriors and with the Kings, and I'm just going back to Milwaukee, catch and shoot threes. You know, the catch and shoot threes, he's been pretty good. You know, he's been hovering around 40% over the last, like, three or so years. So, ideally, that's someone who you want playing alongside Julius, alongside Jalen, maybe in situations where RJ, if he's making the right reads, and you're finding DiVincenzo for the corner threes, the shortest threes on the court, and hopefully he is impactful there. But you're absolutely right, man. How they manage the depth in the front court is going to be a key question mark for me going into the season. Love Hart, love his intangibles, been saying it ad nauseum every time I can when he's a topic of conversation. But it's clear to me that they're going to be running Hart at the small ball four.
Have to.
That's where it is right now. It's not Isaiah Roby. It's not Nathan Tucker and then Nathan Knight and none of those guys.
No. It's going to be hard on RJ.
It's going to be hard. And maybe it's RJ. Maybe it's RJ as well.
Yeah.
You know, from a rebounding perspective, I think we'll be fine. Offensively, I like how it looks. How do they protect the rim is going to be a question with Hartenstein out there does it suffer a little bit? Yes, Obi was there prior to, and no, he was not an elite rim protector, but could it be even worse? I want to see how they're able to do that. You know, can they do that with Hart at the backup 4, or would they have to look at situations where you might have a Twin Towers look and maybe throw a little Sims in there with Hartenstein? I don't know. Maybe it's a matchup dependent. You know, maybe it's something where you're playing Milwaukee Bucks. You know, you're playing Milwaukee Bucks, and let's say you got Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez out there. Like, what are you doing? You throwing Josh Hart out there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could get a little tricky.
Hartenstein is going to be man, this is going to be a big season for Hartenstein because, like you were just saying, there are going to be some situations where we might have to try that experiment of him running the 4 again. There might be some instances where that has to happen because there's going to be some teams that are just going to be too damn big for us to play small ball against, and it's not going to work. So, yeah, man, I know this was supposed to be about Dante DiVincenzo, but I'm just talking about as a whole rotationally. I think there's just going to be a lot of question marks when we start bringing out that second unit. I expect to see that whole bring RJ out early, bring him out the second unit at the 4 if they're not doing Josh Hart. But as far as DiVincenzo's role, I just want to see I'm not worried about him offensively. Yes, I expect the percentages to drop because he's going to take more shots because that's what he's going to be for this team. We need him to be offensive for us. But I want to see how he helps us defensively guarding bigger guys at the 2 and at the 3. That's what I'm looking at when it comes to Dante DiVincenzo.
True indeed, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy, CP the Franchise, CK2K on the 1s and 2s. And remember, guys, that this show is presented by Manscaped. Guys, fresh ball. I can't. I'm cracking up at this read, but we're going to get through
read it, man.
Fresh ball fall is upon us, and you need to be in the festive spirit. Light a candle, get some pumpkin spice, and make sure your balls look nice with the sponsors of today's show. That is Manscaped, the #1 men's grooming tool below the waist. Nature may clear the leaves of their trees, but you'll need Manscaped's help to get you ready for the sweater weather. That's right. We're going Van Gundy. We're going back to the Van Gundys. Getting cool out there. Get your pants puppies prepared for cuffing season with a trim as refreshing as a fall breeze by going to manscaped.com using promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And right now I'm holding in my hand, for those of you watching at home, the illustrious Lawnmower 4.0 skin-safe aerodynamic technology. Comes with an LED spotlight. You can do it in the dark, whatever you into. No testimonials. Great battery life, waterproof. I mean, this is the real deal. And at Manscaped, they continue to innovate and provide you guys with every single product you need to get it right for your grooming. And so you have the Lawnmower 4.0. You can get this in a package, the Performance Package 4.0. I highly recommend it. It's a nice starter kit to get you going. It comes with the lawnmower. You get the ball deodorant. You get the shampoo, the conditioner, the body wash. You get the ear and nose trimmer. You get your ball toner. Really great package. So make sure you guys check that out, man. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. All right.
I don't know about you, CP, but I'm glad that they joined the beard game because they have probably. I got rid of my last beard trimmers once I got Manscaped because that top tier.
You
so
got the beard hatcher kit. Now they got the handyman, which is the buzzer. You get a little closer shave in between sessions.
Top tier. Mm-hmm.
It's top tier, man.
Yep.
Top tier. So shout out my guys, man. Shout out my guys at Manscaped. Okay, back to the program at hand. Speaking on the commissioner, man, the commissioner met with the media last week, and one of the questions was in regards to the Knicks media or anti-media policy. It's drawn a lot of criticism from the beat. The beat's feeling like Leon's not available to talk. They can't get their stories. They haven't heard from the Knicks president in a number of months. What is the deal? So Vince Goodwill of Yahoo Sports, NBA insider, addressed this with the NBA commissioner Adam Silver, and here was Silver's response on the matter. Here was Adam Silver speaking on the New York Knicks and their media policy. Here he is.
Well, in terms of being publicly accountable, I don't think that's necessarily about what an organization chooses to say to the media. I mean, you all have a role to play in that and deciding how to cover a team and the point of view expressed, and of course ultimately the fans do too. I think that's where accountability lies. They haven't violated any of our league rules. Our league rules, the ones that have been collectively bargained, apply to players, which for the most part are the people that the fans are most focused on. Certainly from my standpoint and the league's, we have a long track record of talking directly to the media and being transparent about the decisions we make, and then every team has to make its own decisions on how they want to operate.
All right, so that was the commissioner basically saying they haven't violated any rules. They make the players available. The players need to be available before the game, press conference, after the game. They are for the most part, but they aren't breaking any rules. And as we've seen, the Knicks so far have been committed to satisfying only what they need to satisfy. And that's it, man. What's your take on the whole thing? A lot of the fan base has been fairly split on it. I think I had posted this on Instagram, and a lot of the fan base, I think a lot of people are like, I don't really care. But some are like, yeah, I want to hear from Leon. What's going on? What do you stand on it?
Yeah, I've always been camp. I don't care. Really, because the thing is, they can say one thing and they're still gonna do whatever they want to do. So it never really bothered me one way or another if we heard Leon Rose come out and say anything. And that's the other thing too. We know even if they did do that, he's not gonna come out and be like, all right, so what we're gonna do in the offseason is we're gonna trade Julius Randle. Right. Yeah, right. You guys happy, Nick? Like then that's not how those things work. So to me, when it didn't happen, I wasn't too frustrated about it, and I agree with that. So like, I don't see how that is something that should affect the organization, should affect the media. You're still going to get reports. You're still going to get news on the Knicks, regardless if you get the quote in a public outlet or not. You know what I mean? So yeah, to me, I'm fine with it. Glad Adam Silver agreed. Yeah, I don't see the real need of it to happen, whether it does or whether it doesn't. You're not really, it's not really affecting us one way or the other, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't. This is what I said on the KFTV Instagram. Like, I don't need to hear from Leon Rose. I don't need the cookie cutter prepared statements on the state of the team. I don't think we need that. Like, it'd be one thing if the moves they're making is just all over the place, right? And you don't really understand what the plan is. Like, let's say they went in and traded for Gordon Hayward in the offseason. You're like, yo, what's going on? Like, he's a bum. What are we doing? Or let's say, they try to move up in the draft, and they just say, like, the moves are all over the place where they didn't really have a clear direction. I think, by and large, the Knicks fan understands what Leon and these guys are trying to do. Obviously, they're trying to field a competitive team and still look out for a major star if they become available. They've stockpiled the draft picks. They have players on affordable deals. They have all of their major players making mid-tier salary. So they're in a good spot financially and from a futures standpoint. So I think the direction is quite clear, even though it's not guaranteed that they accomplish the goals that they set out to accomplish, right? That's the hardest thing in the NBA to do is you can be on the right track for many years and still not get any closer to winning a championship. It's that difficult when you don't have the one or two guys that can really transform your franchise into being a championship contender. That's the hardest part. And there's no short path in doing so. But it just seems like, they still have a plan. Every move that they've made hasn't panned out to be great or successful. You look at the OB disaster. I mean, everything hasn't been perfect, but I still feel like I'm confident in knowing that they're trying to get something done here. So I don't need to hear from Leon on what Dante DiVincenzo is going to bring to the team. You do your research. You go listen to a podcast. You go watch some Warriors games. You can see what he's going to bring to the table. I don't necessarily need a press conference to understand that. Now, the Beat, they have different goals, right? They have a job to do. They want to get their content out there. They have a varying content mix that they want to satisfy. So I get why they might be frustrated, but from a fan perspective, I don't think fans by and large really care.
Agree, because like you said, it's just gonna be written down, cookie cut response or statement. So it's like, yeah, what do we need with that?
Yeah. So that was interesting from the commissioner's standpoint. And I just go back to when we had Isola on the show. This was Isola who's the king of calling the Knicks out in these circumstances. This was Isola's response when we talked about it earlier this summer. So for those of you that missed it, we had a good show with Frank. Make sure you guys catch it. But here was Frank Isola on the Knicks policy. Here was Frank.
My thought is it probably comes from ownership, and I think what the Knicks do is NBA mandated media, they will abide by those rules. So day of practice, coach is available. Some of the players is required to talk. Day of game, coach will talk at shoot around, he'll talk before game, he'll talk after game. The locker room will be open, the players are available to talk. The Knicks are not going to grant any other access for press conference, which of course to me is short-sighted. When you sign Jalen Brunson, why wouldn't you have a press conference for him?
Right.
Celebrate the whole thing. After the season, you won a playoff series, put Tom Thibodeau and have Jalen Brunson up there and then have Leon Rose. I don't understand that part of it. And I know a lot of the people will say, I don't care about the media. I'm glad that they're not answering questions. Well, remember that the next time you go to a restaurant and you're unhappy with the service and they say, I want to talk to the manager. They say, no. You're not allowed to. How is it any different? They're not going to have the players talk. I think ultimately it hurts the players in terms of even their brand a little bit because Jalen Brunson is great. I would have two spokesmen on the team, the coach and the star player. Guess who does that? All these teams. But I think it's a way to help your franchise. And Tom learned under Jeff Van Gundy. He knows how to handle that stuff. And you have Jalen Brunson. That should be the message every day coming from the Knicks. It should be mostly from those two guys.
All right, so that was Frank's opinion. What do you guys think in the chat about that one? The thing I don't agree with, and a lot of people were like, the whole restaurant analogy was ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Terrible.
A lot of people didn't like that. I also don't agree that it helps a player's brand by being more available to the media. Now when Frank's talking about the players in that regard, understand that, the Knicks don't give access to anybody when it comes to their players. And I think that's where Frank is coming from. Outside of their league-mandated obligations to speak after games, to speak before games, those things, the bare minimums, they don't make them available to anybody. And so Frank was a little, had an issue with that and thinks that it impacts their brands, but I don't think so. I think players, their brands are solidified based on how their handlers want to handle it. You don't have to do media at the request of a beat writer or something like that just to improve your brand. I think there's several ways to do so, and the players are showing that right now in this type of media climate that we're in.
Yeah, that sounded like a response from somebody from a media member for sure. His whole response sounded like somebody who needs that material for their writing more than anything else. Whether someone speaks or not, there's gonna be a report about something going on with the Knicks anyways. So that's why to me it's indifferent whether we go out there and say the same thing or don't say anything. But yeah, Frank's response to me just sounded like somebody, as I would expect someone in the media to respond, because they want that for themselves, for their writings and stuff like that, which I get. But
yeah,
outside perspective as a fan, to me it'll mean nothing because it's one way or another it's going to get misconstrued. He could say, Jalen Brunson had a great year. Then the report's going to be Leon Rose thinks Jalen Brunson is better than Julius Randle. Is he right? You know what I mean? It's going to be something great. It's going to get twisted. So, yeah, I'm cool with them not speaking out if there's no need to speak out. I hear him on the Jalen Brunson part, like celebrating him and stuff like that. I think we kind of did that. But like I said, sounds like someone in the media that would like those sound bites for their job more than anything else.
Area code 732. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Kaloka, wah.
There he is. Dan, how come you didn't call in the Discord, man? You know the rules. You know the vibes, man.
It's a long story, man. I got Discord on the iPad. It's kind of messed up right now. Anyway, let me get this point off, man.
Got you.
Dude, this whole thing with the media is the ones that are trying to get us to care about this whole thing with Leon and Cole, right? Because, listen, man, Knicks fans are a very, we can be very dumb sometimes. But honestly, I don't think we're that dumb. I think we can all recognize what Leon and Co. are trying to do because we've already seen a good 3 years of this regime. We know where we're trying to go because we know where we've been. We've seen them do a bunch of moves, right? At this point, we kind of know what kind of players they want to go for and how they want to get them. So my whole thing is, I think that with the player empowerment and now the new media, these players are starting podcasts. Theo Pinson has a podcast now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that after the Scud.
Yeah, man. Like these players, we don't really need these media outlets anymore to see these players' personalities. We got social media. These players are starting podcasts. You got Podcast P. You got JJ Redick, the old man in the three. You got Draymond freaking Green.
Yeah.
Out here doing whatever he does on his podcast. So I really think that this attempt to try to get us to care is really coming from another non-basketball perspective because any Knicks fan with sense should know. If you want to know what the Knicks are trying to do, go to a Knicks podcast with intel. Go to a Knicks podcast that can tell you every move they made for the past 3 years. That's all I really got to say on that front.
Yeah. What about how about Randle 59? What do you think? Or league rest policy? What do you think?
That's absolutely absurd. 59?
Yeah.
I'm no Julius Randle fan. I mean, I'm a fan of the Knicks and I support Julius Randle. I don't support him unconditionally whenever Randle does something that, makes me upset. Like when he doesn't get back on defense. I say, Randle, that was wrong and you're letting me down. Yeah. But listen, man, 59th is ridiculous. You're talking about a player that's made All-NBA second team twice now, All-Star 2 of the last 3 years, a player who averaged 24, 6, and 10 that year? Yeah. And last year he had somehow a better offensive year overall.
Top 10 in double teams drawn. Top 10 in double teams drawn.
No, CP, it's actually ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This man ran we were actually talking about Randle potentially being a top 15 player if he actually got his head in the game most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. 59th is absolutely absurd. They have OG Anunoby, who can do a single ISO possession ahead of him. Yeah. OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby?
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. How about the rest policy, man? Are you a fan of the rest policy?
The rest policy?
Yeah.
Man, as somebody who's going into the, medicine and things like that, we actually don't have I'm starting to take classes in sports medicine and everything like that. Mm-hmm. We actually don't have that much conclusive evidence that load management, really works for players in terms of long-term stability. Because the thing is, when you have a schedule that's grinding for such a long time, like players used to before, players used to get hurt a lot less back then. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, back then the game was slower paced. There were less possessions. There was a lot more ISO, a lot less up and down movement. It's a different game now. So maybe that actually will have a difference on, how players are able to recuperate and things like that. I think I'm going to have to see it play out first before I could give a full take on it because there's so many different factors because we can't really compare this era to the 2000s or even the 90s. It's such a different game in terms of the wear and tear, and a lot of these players are coming into the NBA with broken bodies from AAU. You know, we're not really taking a lot of those things into account. So
it's fair.
Maybe it'll have some benefits. We'll see.
Yeah. We're getting a real medical perspective here. This is what we do on KnicksFanTV, man. Salute to Dan from New Jersey, man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Dan from New Jersey dropping that medical science on us, man. No, look, I understand the rest policy. As Adam Silver said, we are an 82-game league. They're about to sign the new TV deal. I'm sure the TV people, whoever's trying to get involved, is trying to say, hey, We can't pitch our people, Golden State Warriors versus Boston Celtics, and you don't have Steph, you don't have Tatum, you don't have Brown. What are the people supposed to watch? So the league rights holders want to get their money's worth. The ticket holders want to get their money's worth. Who wants to go to the Garden to go see Knicks versus Lakers? You want to go see LeBron. You want to go see Julius and Jalen. You won't have to worry about it from the Knicks side. But from Lakers' perspective, LeBron and AD sitting out, because they got back-to-backs. They got to go to Brooklyn the next night. AD's bunion is flaring up. LeBron, he's got to shoot his movie. He's tired. We can't have that. And then you're going to charge people an arm and a leg to take a family of 4 to the game. So there's got to be a little There's got to be a little bit of a balance there, and the idea, like a lot of the arguments I'm seeing is people is like, well, shorten the season, cut the season. Bro, these people are not giving money back. You're not cutting the season to 56 games. Like, you're not doing that. And even if you did, I'm not so sure you could curtail load management because it's a science. It's not a player's choice. Every league is looking into it. The analytics is taking over sports. The medical analytics, the data, they got these guys strapped up to every machine, every gadget and sensor is monitoring every move, every breath of a player, and then analyzing the effects of each of these games. So you're not going to just curb load management just by reducing games, because that part of medical science in sports is here to stay, and it's going to continue to evolve and aid in the decision-making of these executives and these organizations.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Who else we got in here? If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new, and we'll shout you guys out. I see Ari in here. Ari hit me up. He said he's back with a vengeance. I don't know what that means. But yeah, he said he's coming back. So that was that was Ari's take to me in a DM over the weekend. Ari said he's coming back stronger than ever. So shout out to Ari. And speaking of Ari, man, this weekend, a certain person made his debut on KFTV, man. First and foremost, shout out to New York Nico and his crew, man. I took part in the Knicks Season Opener commercial at Madison Square Garden, man. Shout out to New York Nico. Hit me up, wanted to get me involved in the project. Obviously, I had to accept, and I brought some friends with me, man. I brought the Stratocaster came through, the Datacaster. Salute to Al, salute to JD, salute to the Knicks chick. We had my guy Chris Shamus in the building. Triple M came through. Benji from Manhattan is in the commercial as well. Shout out to Mrs. New York Knicks. But one Cody Glock made it and made his Knicks screen debut, man. Cody Glock was in the mix, and they got Cody Glock in the commercial. So we had a blast yesterday, man. Yeah, we had a blast yesterday. It was a lot of work, man. You know, this commercial stuff behind the camera, a lot of work, man. I got there like 10. We shot outside, and then we shot outside from like 10 to like 12. And then cut. Then we had to be back there at like 4:30. Came back at 4:30. Shot the inside stuff, and then we wrapped at about like 6. It's a long day, man. That's why I fell asleep. I miss Colorado. I miss UFC.
Yeah, makes sense, man. Yeah, no, man. Film is real, man. It does it to you. And I guarantee you was probably standing around and sitting around for the majority of the time.
A lot of it.
Yeah,
a lot of it. But no, it was a great experience, man. I think I might have been more intrigued with the production than I was even just saying my lines, man, because it is, you have to be highly coordinated. There were so many moving parts in there. That's why I got to give Nico and his team a lot of credit and give them a lot of, I give them a shout out, man, because they were incredible. So many moving parts, so many people to get involved and get the talent involved. You got the director, the director's assistant, the key grip. I mean, the lighting guys, they had these lights in there inside MSG that I'd never even seen. It was like almost the size of the Jumbotron. the type of lights that they had to move around. So
Crazy.
a lot of coordination there. Houston and Sprewell was there from 6 a.m. inside shooting. I don't know if you guys saw it on their Instagram on, I think Houston.
I did.
Yeah. So they were shooting the commercial, their parts of the commercial. So they were inside early. I got some shots in there of them recording their stuff. And it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Loving the fits, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Knicks, bro.
Yeah.
Blue and orange. It's just such a good combo, bro.
Yeah.
Look at all the fits, all the fandom.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I'm excited. We got a month,
Absolutely.
right? Golly.
Yeah, they got it right, man. They got it right. And so we had that. We were doing the commercial, and now here's what happened.
Uh-oh.
We go to lunch. It was me, Nick's chick, Al, JD. We go to lunch. We have a nice team lunch. We're rooftop chilling. We're vibing, having a good lunch, having a good time.
Okay.
And so we're walking back because we had a lot of time to kill. And so we're walking back to MSG, and the lady's like, she wants to go shopping. So she wants to go to Macy's and take a look. So I'm like, all right, I don't really want to do that, but all right. We got nothing but time to kill. Let's go to Macy's. All right, so we go to Macy's, doing it through. JD and Al head back to MSG. I get back to MSG only to find out that a one-on-one match took place on the court without me. And this was between Cody Glock and JD. Cody Glock and JD square off on the garden floor, one-on-one, while I'm climbing escalators at Macy's, getting nothing. And I completely missed the opportunity, man. By the time I get back, production crew's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, oh, man, what happened here? So shout out to Cody and JD, because they were able to get it in, a little battle, a little shoot the fair one, if you will, on the garden floor. So they had themselves an experience while I was out shopping for nothing, man. So there that is, man. Shout out to those guys, man.
Shout out to my brother JD, because he got some game. Here's my one beef, JD. If you see in this clip, empty your pockets, man. Is probably rule number 3. If you hooping, you wearing a hoodie, you wearing something with empty your pockets, because you making these nice pull-up J's, and you know how you look. Just pick it. Oh yeah, drop my paper. There go my receipt from my sandwich. You gotta empty your pockets, because you're ruining your highlights, my
He
boy.
ruined his highlight reel, man.
Dang, because JD was out there. He was cooking with a smile. I'm like, oh, there goes JD. And everything, like, he had a nice lay. Everything falling out of his pockets, passport, ID. I'm like, bro, empty your pockets, JD. Other than that, though,
God.
go ahead, man.
Then the comments were hilarious. This is from the Instagram. Mike Bruno. Respectfully, I would cook both of them. Mark Alexander. Stick to talk. All love them.
Damn.
Aaron is not cool. Hey, yo, JD hitting him with the Spice Adams hezzy. We got who else? JD Brunson in the building.
I've been saying they look like they brothers. I've been saying that for years, bro. They are brothers. I don't care what nobody says. We need a one-on-one JD and Jalen Brunson interview. It has to happen.
This guy, JD, the Dollar General looking Brunson. David Santiago, JD gassed out after that layup. Yeah, some of these comments were hilarious, man. There's Ace Suarez, thought he died. JD definitely plays ball like a Dominican uptown.
I love it, bro. I love it.
Oh, man, it was hilarious, man. But like I said, it was a good time. And, once the commercial comes out, can't wait for the people to see it. But most importantly, speaking of Knicks home opener, ladies and gentlemen, the KnicksFanTV premium fan experience is now available, man. Come through with myself and my Nick KFTV family, man, to watch the Knicks versus the Celtics, the home opener, the game everybody's been waiting for, man. Wednesday, October 25th at 7 p.m. at MSG, man. A premium fan experience. You know, we've been doing these every single year. The only difference is this year, We're doing it bigger and better, man. We're getting off of that Chase Bridge stuff. We're getting out of the nosebleeds. You don't have to bring your binoculars anymore. We're getting you right there in the lower bowl, section 102, right where the action is at. And that is the biggest difference in this year's package, man. But you're going to get the ticket to the game. You're going to get access to pregame shoot-around, so you get to watch Brunson warm up. RJ, Quentin Grimes, the newest Nick, Dante DiVincenzo. Get to see those guys practicing before the game. And then they'll have the post-game experience. Typically in years past, you have the free throw, or you have the group photo. We're still working with our reps to determine what the post-game experience is going to be. Plus, we're going to give you a Knicks Fan TV gift package, man. So go to shop.knicksfantv.com and get your ticket now. It's only 10. We're going with a small group. So it's only 10 tickets. So go ahead and get yours today before it sells out, man. Once again, go to shop.knicksfantv.com to get your tickets today. And I'm also going to leave the link in the video description and in the comment. We're going to be sending a newsletter out to the people and letting you guys know, man. So I told you guys we're going to have a lot of events coming up to kick off the Knicks season, and this is one of them. So if you want to be on that garden floor, you want to be out there like JD and Cody Glock, go ahead and go to shop.knicksfantv.com and get your ticket today. And CK, what's your plans for Clippers or Lakers? Any plans for the West Coast?
Nothing yet. I was gonna say, man, because I was trying to be out there for the opener. I mean, you might need to save me.
I got you, man. Yeah, if you want to come through, let me know.
Yeah. I'm about 90%, 95% sure I can come through to that. Yeah, for sure. Lakers and Clippers working on it. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna have to take a look at that, man, because I like that little swing, Phoenix, LA swing that they're doing, man. I want to see if I can make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, if we do Phoenix, I can come out there too. But the 25th, look, man. I was gonna say I was trying to get out there for the beginning of the season, anyways. But we got a premium event. Hold on.
Absolutely, man. So definitely keep me posted on that. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Okay, what else we got here? Do we have anybody on the line? Call us up, man. 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord. All right, CK. Are the Knicks America's team? This has been an interesting debate going around. The former Knicks cheerleader Theo Pinson on his podcast has been kicking this question around. And here's what Miles Turner had to say about it. Miles Turner, a guest on the Pinson podcast, Run Your Race. Here's what Miles Turner had to say on the matter.
I had to go America's team. Probably the Knicks then. Because everybody, especially East Coast, is going to talk about the Knicks and shit. Even if they make the playoffs or not, you're going to be talking about the Knicks. Whether they get up there or they did not.
I don't even know who I said anymore. Who did I say?
I don't know. I'm still going with the Lakers. The Warriors? Oh, nah. They knew.
People hate on Golden State.
No, somebody else said home. Somebody. Maybe now.
They got a lot of fans now. But I don't know. Maybe because I live in L.A. too.
Sorry, but it's got to be the Knicks, bro. You can't name another franchise.
Yeah. You can't really say the Warriors either. Now that I think about it, because then when Bron was with the Heat, everybody would have been like
the Heat. Yeah.
So it would be the Knicks or the Lakers.
Knicks or the Lakers is the only two.
The only two you, but
wherever you live, you're gonna be like.
The only reason I would say the Lakers, A, they got the championships. B, any arena they go in.
There's going to be some gold and purple.
It's going to be gold and purple in that motherfucker. And they are going to take over the gym.
It's like they got 82 home games.
I had to go America.
Let's pause these guys. All right, CK, your thoughts, man.
Oof. I love the thought of it, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm agreeing. The Lakers have to be America's team, unfortunately. It's just the factor that they have those championships, everything they said, everyone got a Kobe jersey. I don't care if you in Colorado or if you in Maine. Like there's somebody with a Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal jersey. I would say Lakers are America's team. I love what Miles Turner is trying to get at.
Yeah.
Because we are in a lot of the conversations for sure. But as far as like they get the national televised game, even when it was just when they didn't have LeBron, like in those in-between years, they were still on TV. So you could watch, was it Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma or D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle? They were still on TV more than we were on TV. So, unfortunately, I would say the Lakers. But I would say we in that top 3. I'd put us above the Warriors. I'll say that. I'll say that.
Interesting.
I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Miles Turner's trying to curry favor and force a trade here.
Right.
But there's no chance it's the Knicks.
Yeah.
You can't be America's team if you don't win anything. You know what I'm saying? Like the Knicks are America's team in terms of the team that everybody likes to kick. Yeah. But no, they I think what he's conflating is the hype and the attention that the Knicks get. But that's not America's team. America's team is the team that you have, like the Cowboys of the NFL, right? You have your diehards, you have your generational fans. But when they won all those Super Bowls with Aikman and Emmett and Michael Irvin, you had and Dion was there. You had the casuals that would jump on and be like, yo, this is my team, right? Yeah. That was America's team. But also the term America's team was because, like, football is like America's sport, But for basketball, it's the Lakers, man, hands down. The Lakers have had it for decades. When Magic and them was running and gunning, they were America's team. When Kobe and Shaq, and then it went to LeBron, like they literally rarely skip a beat when it comes to fielding championship contenders, superstars. It's Hollywood, it's LA, it's the Lakers, man. It's absolutely Lakers. I mean, you're out there in LA. Just like Pinson said, think about when we even go to Summer League. I mean, the Lakers, you'll have your factions of fans like, okay, last Summer League, it was the San Antonio fans. A couple of Wemby people would come in Wemby Mania. When the Zion hype came, you had more Pelicans jerseys in there. But the Lakers fans were still in there heavy, even when they drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino.
To watch nobody,
to watch nobody. They were there watching Chafino and Max Christie and these guys.
And Castleton. I don't even know who that is, but they were chanting for him. I was like, what is going on, bro?
It's the Lakers, man. It's the Lakers. They have the most casual fans, and they've had that team for decades now that the casual fan can latch onto. Yes, Golden State has had their run in the sun. Miami, certainly, when they had the Heatles. And certainly... in this generation, especially with Gen Z, who are more player loyal than team loyal,
facts.
You have temporary America's team, if you will, where they're just going to follow who's winning. If that particular player is their favorite, like a LeBron or a Steph Curry. But over the long haul, longevity, it's the Lakers, man.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I can't give it to the Warriors, because the Warriors have been hot since the 2010s to now.
That's it.
But Lakers been doing it every decade.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, prior to the chef run, nobody was talking about the Warriors like that. We have respect for those teams. You have respect for Run TMC and the We Believe team. They had talent, but nobody was. This is Lakers. It's Lakers, man.
Yep.
So
no way around it,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Miles Turner. I don't know what he was smoking on.
You know what he's doing. You said it. You hit the nail on the head, bro. That's the first thing I thought of when he was going in deep for us. I was like, all right, brother. Look, we need the height, so I'll entertain it. Come on down.
I think, I just think he was trying to get here, man. So shout out to Miles Turner, and yeah, man. Salute. Well, great show, my dude. Great show. Man. Everybody in the chat, man. This was a fun show to get us ready for the Knicks season coming up, man. So hopefully you guys lock in. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Remember that this show is available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. If you missed the live show, shout out to the replay gang, but you can also catch it in audio podcast format on all the major podcast platforms. Make sure to salute our sponsors, support our sponsors, Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. And remember to check us out. Come through to the Knicks versus Celtics home opener premium fan experience. I'll be there. The Knicks chick will be there. CK2K will be there. So the KFTV family is going to be there in full effect. Come through and watch the game with us. No more nosebleeds, no more Chase Bridge. We are down in the lower bowl section 102, man. Premium seating. And it's going to be a great event. You get to come through pregame shoot-around, exclusive access to watch the team practice, and a post-game experience. You could have the opportunity to shoot your own free throw, take your own shots on the Madison Square Garden floor, and take pictures and all of that stuff, man. Plus, a KFTV gift pack. So make sure you go to shop.KnicksFanTV.com to get yours today. CK, have a great week, my dude. And we will catch up, man, next week on Knicks Weekly, man. You guys take care. Enjoy the week. Have a productive week. And we'll see you guys soon, man. Peace.